everyone, welcome back. For those of you who are new here, my name is Brittany. I'm a health coach and nutritionist, and my channel is all about helping people with IBS reduce their symptoms and improve their lives. So usually on this channel we do low FODMAP cooking tutorials, and I was actually wanting to film some more reaction videos for you guys because you seem to really like that, and I wanted to react to a low FODMAP what I eat in a day kind of video. And I figured I should probably film one for you guys as well. So that's what we're gonna do today. I'm gonna take you along with me, and I'm just gonna show you what I would eat in a day. One caveat though. So I typically only eat like 2 meals a day and maybe a snack. Like during the week I'll skip breakfast and just eat lunch and dinner, and then maybe have like a late evening snack because I stay up kind of late. And on the weekends, I will do a late breakfast, skip lunch, and then just eat dinner. But today, I want to give you breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack, and dessert. I don't eat that much, but I just wanted to show you guys like what's possible on this diet and what I would eat if I was going to eat that type of meal. You know what I mean? So yeah, I just wanted to say that. I've got breakfast here. This is one of my favorite breakfast scrambles. I just love this combination. I've got 3 eggs, spinach, avocado, and radish sprouts, which are so good. If you guys have never tried them, I highly recommend it because they've got like this tang to them. No, not tang. They have like a zest and like a bite to them, similar to onions. And they're just such a pretty color, and you know, you want to try and eat the rainbow because that's how you know you're getting all of the phytonutrients you need, right? I swear, every single time I try to film something like cooking for you guys, something crazy happens. Like something goes wrong that doesn't normally happen. And today, I went to crack that egg in that pan, and it was rotten, and I've never gotten a rotten egg before, and oh my god, it smelled so bad. So yeah, hopefully that's the only thing that goes wrong today. So this is my favorite kind of breakfast because it's full of protein. We've got 3 eggs in there. We've got a lot of fat from the egg yolks and the avocado, which is really going to help us to keep us full for one, but also help us to absorb our fat soluble vitamins that are in the eggs and the egg yolks especially. It has everything that like an embryo would need to like become a chicken. That's why they're so nutrient dense. And I like to pick up the pasture raised eggs when I can. And that's because they have a higher nutrient content, and you can tell because they have darker yolks. So the darker the yolk, the more nutrients. Like you want ones that are like almost orange. If you can find them. I like to pair the egg and the avocado with leafy greens. I always like to have leafy greens at every single meal. Here I've got cooked spinach, and then, like I mentioned before, these radish sprouts are so good. They provide like really good texture because like the egg and the avocado and the spinach, the cooked spinach, they're all kind of like soft, and then you've got like the crunch of the sprout. So good. And then I love to top it with this green Tabasco. Green Tabasco is my jam. And I like Tabasco in general because they don't put garlic and onion in their sauces, but also they don't have any weird preservatives either. They just use natural, like vinegar as a natural preservative. So I think that's super cool. So you guys can see like 3 eggs, avocado, and like spinach. This is a substantial breakfast. And like I said before, it's because I really only eat like twice a day, like maybe twice in a snack. And that is because I don't I'm just not a snacker, but I also don't feel like snacking is good for you, especially if you have digestive issues. Now let me explain why. Okay, so we have something called the migrating motor complex. Now, this is a mechanism in the body that activates peristalsis to like move all the bacteria from one end of the digestive tract down through the other. Now, this is really going to help you prevent recurrences of SIBO, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. And I mention this because a lot of people with IBS struggle with SIBO. Now, this mechanism only kicks in after you have not eaten for 4 hours. So if you're eating every 2 hours and snacking all day, then you're never activating this like maintenance mechanism, right? The other thing is, you know, if you're having trouble with your digestion, you need to give your gut time to heal itself. It can't really kick in like all those other like healing and like maintenance mechanisms when it's constantly being asked to digest food. So that's another reason I don't recommend snacking. If you're thinking, wait, but like I feel like I need something to eat every couple of hours because my blood sugar gets low. If that's the case, then like if you really feel like you need to snack because your blood sugar is crashing, it's because you're not eating the proper thing at mealtime. So you need to stop eating so many, like you need to stop with the sugar and the refined carbohydrates and stick with protein and fats, and then non-starchy vegetables like leafy greens, cucumbers, tomatoes, broccoli, things like that. Okay, so I'm just going to finish this up and take my vitamins and then take my dog for a walk, and then I will be back. You want to go for a walk? Yeah? Yeah, you want to go for a walk? Yeah? All right, guys, I just wanted to say a little something about hydration. So I just got back from walking the dog. It's been about 30 minutes since I ate, and so my breakfast has kind of had like a minute to digest. And now I'm going to focus on hydrating after I've digested a bit. And that's because I don't want to like wake up and then drink a ton of water and dilute my stomach acid right before I'm going to eat. You know what I mean? Because that's going to give me indigestion. So I like to wait until after I've eaten. I just take like, I just have enough water to like take my vitamins. And now I'm going to focus on drinking this 32 ounces of water. I try to drink 2 of these a day at least. And this water filter is so good. The Berkey water filter. We have terrible hard water here. And I love this one so much. Jeff got it for me for Christmas, actually. So we've had this filter in for like 8 months and we haven't had to change it yet. I mean, there's only 2 of us, but I think that's still pretty good. I actually like it better than the water we have at work, which is Sparklets. So I feel like that's a pretty good endorsement of that. This video is not sponsored, but I will leave a link down below, an Amazon link if you guys want to pick one up. You know, do something good for your health, help me out also. So yeah, now I'm gonna hydrate, and I'm just gonna probably do some laundry and try to clean that rotten egg out of that pan. I'm not looking forward to that. Hey guys, it is lunchtime, so let me take you through my strategy for lunch, because I basically eat the same thing every single day, which is leftover starch with leftover meat over a bed of spinach, and then I dress it up with a little bit of sauce and like whatever other like toppings I have in the fridge. So let's look in the fridge and see what we have for today. Okay, so here we got spinach. And here we have some ground turkey that I cooked up with garlic oil and jalapeno and a little cumin. And here we have some quinoa. So let's see what else. I've got this green sauce here. It's a ají verde. I have made this before on my channel. I don't remember which video, but I'll find it for you guys and I'll link it below. I've got this beautiful brown tomato. We'll use that. And then I've got these awesome pickles, which, oh no, I've never tried these ones before. I'm like super excited. They're Marky Mark's pickles. I don't know if you guys can see this, but yeah, they don't have any like preservatives, any like coloring, because a lot of pickles, they like the Vlasic ones, they put like yellow dye in there, and a lot of pickles use sodium benzoate as a preservative instead of like naturally pickling them, and that's what these ones look like they are. So I'm excited to try them. So if we put all this together, it's gonna be sort of like a deconstructed burger bowl. So let me fix this up and show you guys what I'm talking about. So first I'm gonna warm up the, like I don't know, about 1/3 of a cup of quinoa in the microwave, and I'm gonna put it under a wet paper towel to help it steam. But I warm it up first because starches take longer to heat up than protein. Okay, now I'm going to add the meat. I like a good amount of meat. I like to prioritize protein. So now I'm just gonna put this back into the microwave for another minute. Okay. I'm just gonna squish this over so we can add in our spinach. And just kind of bury it. Oh, making a mess. Okay, now I'm gonna hit it with this ají verde, which is a mayo-based sauce, so it is gonna give that like burger vibe. All right, guys, here we have our deconstructed turkey burger bowl. And I'm excited to try these pickles. They look really good. They're super good. Nice and crisp and fresh. Good job, Marky Mark. But you'll see, like, my meals are kind of like all the same, right? Like, you'll see this again with dinner, but it's protein with a little bit of starch over greens. And then add in a couple of like extras. Like here we've got the tomatoes and pickles with the ají verde. Because you need sauce, honestly. That's like the hardest thing on this diet because everything is garlic and onion. You can't buy anything pre-made. You need sauce. So I really recommend prepping sauce during the week. So my pulled pork 5 ways video, it shows you how to like prepare like a big like batch of pulled pork for the week and then use the drippings to make sauce. So I'll link that down below for you guys. But honestly, like that strategy is so key because that would suck if this was just like dry. You know what I mean? If you didn't have any sauce in the fridge, like sometimes I don't, I'll just throw a little olive oil or garlic oil on there. You could do vinegar, salt and pepper. The tomatoes are actually going to give it a lot of like liquid because you need like wetness to like get it down, right? Avocado is a good thing also, if you tolerate avocado well, or like lemon juice. Lemon juice is always good. But yeah, very filling. Like this is a good amount of food, you know? And again, that's why I'm not snacking all day and I'm just eating twice because, you know, I have a sedentary job and I really just don't need 3 meals a day. But like I said, I'm doing all the meals today for you guys. This is good. I've recently been developing an appreciation for ground turkey. I just like hated ground turkey before, but I think as long as you put like enough salt in it and enough like seasoning, it's good. And you just have to like drain it. But then I use like all those drippings when I like make veggies or beans or something like that. And it's got really good flavor. So I am going to finish eating this. I feel like it might just need like a little bit more sauce. I'm gonna finish eating this, go back upstairs and work on another reaction video for you guys. And then I'll be back down a little bit later to do a snack for you guys, okay? So I was eating my lunch and I forgot to mention one thing. My lunches, I try to like add something that's naturally fermented to them, like pickles, sauerkraut, pickled radishes, whatever. Just because that naturally fermented stuff, like it's full of probiotics and the prebiotic fibers that the probiotics feed on. So your lunch is like a perfect, if you're just like throwing together a bowl, like it's the perfect opportunity to just add a little bit of those like fermented foods in there, right? So yeah, give that a try. And with fermented foods, you might need to like work your way up to it. If you're not used to it, you might want to just start out with like a little bit, because if you go like for a ton of sauerkraut, like all at once, it's probably going to give you indigestion, just because your body's not used to it. So like work up your tolerance level to sauerkraut and like other probiotic foods. That's what I would recommend. And then if you're doing that, like you don't really need to take like probiotic pills because it's part of your diet. And I'm working on my pickling skills right now. I just got the Noma Guide to Fermentation, so I'm like really excited to do that. I have made sauerkraut and like pickled radishes and a couple of other things, but I really want to like step up my game. So hopefully I will have a fermentation video for you guys soon too. Hey guys, it's been a couple of hours and I'm definitely not hungry after eating both breakfast and lunch, but I committed to showing you guys how to make a snack that I would typically eat. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna make a like cucumber and tomato salad with a little bit of fresh mozzarella, you know, for the fat and the protein to like keep us full for longer, because cucumber and tomato, like yes, it would keep you full, but not as full as if it had cheese in it, right? So we're gonna do that. I'm going to, it's super quick, and I will show you how to do it. But first I just want to mention like a couple of other things I might do for a snack. So if I just want like a couple bites of something, I don't want to like make something, I'll usually go for like maybe like a couple pieces of cheese and some fruit. Or I like to stick to berries, strawberries, raspberries. I can have some blackberries too. Those are the fruits that usually work best for my body, because I'm very fructose sensitive. Other than that, kiwis are cool for me, and pineapple. But I never really buy fresh pineapple. I don't know. I just don't like to cut it. But yeah, other than that, I may eat like a couple of pieces of cold chicken, like right from the fridge, maybe put some of the ahi verde on it, if I want to be really quick. Or if I've prepped some soft boiled eggs, those are a really good snack. And I like soft boiled too, because the yolk, it just like, cause you know when you eat like a hard boiled egg and it's just like super dry, the soft boiled eggs aren't like that. So, you know, just something to keep in mind. So let's head over to the countertop over there and I'll show you how I make this really quick. Okay, I'm going to start by peeling my cucumber. I don't like to eat the peel because it's covered in wax and I don't want to eat that. And then I'm just going to give it a rough dice and do the same thing with the tomato. I try to make it so that they are roughly the same size. It's going to make it like more cohesive as a salad. I'm going to do the same thing with my fresh mozzarella. If you don't have any fresh mozzarella on hand, feta is another great choice for this salad. Another option is to add in some fresh herbs. I'm going to use dill today, but parsley, cilantro, and green onion would be good as well. Lastly, I'm going to dress this salad up with a little bit of lemon, olive oil, salt, and pepper. Just make sure you taste as you go to make sure that it's tangy enough for you, that it's salty enough. And, you know, as you become more practiced in the kitchen, you will be able to eyeball it easier and just kind of know what it needs. I've been cooking for over 20 years, so that's possibly why it looks so easy for me. Just hang in there, stick with it. Also, I wanted to apologize for my hands being in the way all of the time. I'm so sorry. This is my first time of me like trying to set up the camera on my own and do like a more vloggy style video, and it's more difficult than it looks. So again, I apologize and hopefully I will get better at this. All right, guys, there you have it. A very quick, very easy cucumber salad. This probably took me maybe 10 minutes start to finish. So super quick, super easy snack that you can whip up. And it's great for summer because it's got all of these cooling veggies like the cucumber and the tomato. But like I said, it's got the olive oil and the fresh mozzarella in there that's going to keep us satiated. And I even threw in a little bit of dill for that extra flavor. You guys know I love dill. And always, of course, I made extra. That way, you know, I can throw this on my lunch tomorrow. Cook once, eat twice, right? So I'm probably gonna get like maybe 3 or even 4 servings from this. So yeah, like I said, I'm not really hungry. I'll see if Jeff wants this. But other than that, I will see you guys back here for dinner. All right, before I put this away, I just wanted to mention these Pyrex mixing bowls with the lids. They're so convenient for when you just like mix something up really quick like I just did, and then you just put the lid on, pop it in the fridge. Amazing. So I will link these down below for you guys also. And like I mentioned before, I'm not hungry, but I am thirsty. So let me show you one of my favorite treats that I love to have. It's like, I know there's really not a whole lot you can drink on the low FODMAP diet. Like I really just recommend like water and like herbal tea. And I know a lot of you guys like struggle with soda. Like honestly, I can't even believe people still drink soda. Like I just feel like there's so much evidence now of like how bad it is for you, but people still drink soda, and I know they like the bubbles. So let me show you what I do. So I love to have a Topo Chico like in the afternoon or in the evening to really like hydrate myself. And that is, like I know that I've been drinking water all day, but sometimes I just like need more salt. So I like the mineral water because it has minerals in it. And it still gives you like that bubbly feeling that you want, like something like a little like exciting to sip on, right? I like to add a whole fresh lemon. I love that these come in glass bottles. Okay, so I've got my ice with the juice of a full lemon. And then I'm just gonna put in like maybe like 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. Now, I mentioned this a little before, but I've been drinking water all day, but my lips still like feel a little dry. And I feel like a little dehydrated. And that's because I actually need salt. So I know that they say that your body is 60% water or something like that, or 80%, I don't know. But it's actually not fresh water, it's salt water. And your body's, one of its main jobs is to maintain that specific salinity of the salt water in your body, right? Because it helps to conduct all of the electrical signals. Of your like heart pumping, of your muscles contracting, all of that. So if you don't have enough salt in your body, then your body can't hold on to all of the water that you're drinking, and you'll just like pee it out, and you'll still feel dehydrated, which is where I was at, and where that does happen to me quite a bit. But I've learned now that I just need to have a little bit of salt. So refreshing. Honestly, this is what LaCroix like wants to be. Now I know people are usually like, oh, I need to be careful not to have too much salt in my diet. And yes, that is true if you are eating the standard American diet, which is packed full of salt and sugar. So food scientists, they do this thing where they find something known as the bliss point, and that is the exact ratio of salt to sugar that they put in processed food so that it neither tastes salty or sweet. But what it does is it triggers something in your brain so that you're never satisfied. Like they are making processed food specifically addictive. They're doing it on purpose, and that's why like you eat lots of things that you don't think are salty, but they really are. You just can't taste it, like when you're eating processed food. So if you are eating the standard American diet, like, yeah, you probably do have too much salt in your diet. But if you switch to like how I eat and you home cook all of your food, then you really don't need to worry about getting too much salt. Like salt your food as you please, right? And like, and listen to your body. Like I said, if you are drinking lots of water, your pee is like clear or very light, and you're peeing a lot, but your lips still feel dry and you just kind of feel like dehydrated, try this. Try a little salt and see how you feel. All right, guys, I am back. We're gonna make some dinner. It's like 10 o'clock. We're like finally hungry again. We've been eating a lot today. And I have this sirloin steak that has been coming up to room temperature. So I'm gonna cook that up really quick, and then let's see what else I wanna do with it. Okay, so I have these sauces in my fridge that need to be used. They're gonna go bad. So here I have some, this is pizza sauce that I made a couple weeks ago. Like I said, it needs to be used. And I have this, I have a little bit of salsa left over. So we're gonna see, I'm gonna cook these up with a little bit of, let's see. I'm gonna use these cannellini beans, and then maybe like some garlic oil and some heavy cream. But I like to do this because it's important. You're gonna have to excuse the explosions. It is 4th of July. So like I was saying, I like to use what is gonna go bad in my fridge, and I like to use pre-made sauces too, because it's like a very quick and easy way to build flavor in a dish without going through a whole lot of effort like at the moment, you know what I mean? So yeah, and then I think I'm just gonna, again, dish this up over a leafy green. So you see, protein, a little bit of starch, leafy green. That's my formula. Okay, so let me get to it. Ooh. I'm going to start by searing the steak in a cast iron pan with a good amount of butter and garlic oil, and that's because I'm using a sirloin steak, and that one doesn't have a whole lot of fat, so I am going to add more fat than I typically would if I was cooking a ribeye, which has way more fat and marbling in it. I'm also going to be sure to use a good amount of salt because it is a thick cut of meat, and we want to make sure there's enough salt on the surface so that it can fully penetrate the meat. I'm going to let that sear for about 4 minutes until it has a nice crust, and then I'm going to flip it over, give it a quick baste with the butter garlic oil mixture, and then I'm going to pop it into the oven to finish cooking. I'm going to cook it at 425 for about 5 minutes until the internal temp comes up to 130 degrees, and that is because I want this to be medium rare, and it's going to continue to cook once I take it out of the oven. It's going to come up about another 5 degrees while it rests. Again, I am choosing to cook the sirloin this way because it is such a thick cut of meat. I feel like it works better than just doing it on the stovetop alone. And I'm also going to give it one last baste before we set it aside to rest. So while our steak is resting, I'm going to use the beautiful flavor and fat that we have in this pan to cook our beans. So I'm going to turn the heat back on, and I'm going to add my rinsed cannellini beans, and I'm actually going to add some cherry tomatoes as well. Also add a little bit of salt and give that a good mix and let it really absorb all of that fat and flavor. I'm also going to add the rest of my leftover tomato sauce and the red pepper salsa that I had left over as well. Give those a good stir and let it combine to make a sauce. I also decided to add a little bit of chimichurri to this as well to give it some herby, tangy flavors. And then I'm just going to mix that up and let it cook down until the tomatoes soften. I know this seems like a lot of FODMAPs, and it is, but I'm only going to eat a little bit of it. It also is going to depend on what your personal triggers are. Now, I know that tomatoes and beans don't really have a huge effect on me, so if I have a little bit more of them, I'm not too concerned about it. These tomatoes are not cooking fast enough for my liking, so I decided to add a lid on this. I probably should have done that from the very beginning, but then you guys would not have been able to see what I was doing.
After a couple of minutes cooking with the lid on, those tomatoes have softened nicely. So I am going to turn the heat down and then add the heavy cream to let the sauce come together and give it one final taste. And I decided to add a little bit more chimichurri to give it a little bit more tang and a little bit more fresh herb. And then a little bit of fresh cracked pepper, and it's done. Now I'm just going to slice up this sirloin and dish everything up. I decided to dish this up over a bed of arugula, which is a nice change from the spinach. It's also going to go really well with this sauce bean tomato thing because arugula has like a nice peppery quality to it that's going to help balance out the richness of this dish. I also decided to add a little bit of fresh feta. I am very pleased with the way this sirloin turned out. Because it is a thicker cut of meat, it can be a little bit more difficult to cook, so I'm psyched on that. I decided to finish off our steak with a little bit of chimichurri because, again, that tanginess from the vinegar in the chimichurri is going to help balance out the richness of that sauce we made. And I don't think I have a video on chimichurri on the channel, but I do have a recipe on my website, so I will link that down below for you as well.
All right, guys, here's the finished product. It took probably about 30 minutes to make, and it looks really good. I'm really excited to try this and take a bite. Yes. The beans have like such a complex flavor because from the tomato sauce, the salsa, and the chimichurri that we threw in there, and then like a nice richness with the cream just kind of like mellows everything out. And you know, it was super quick and easy to do since I had all those components already made. You know, that's why I really recommend that you guys make your own sauces and always have some sauce in the fridge, a couple of different things. It really makes throwing together like an amazing meal super easy. This bean mixture, Jeff and I have been like obsessed with it lately. I made it probably for the first time a few days ago, and I was like, oh my God, like we have to do this again. So yeah, we've kind of been like putting it on everything, but we actually did it with like a couple of fried eggs and then like some toast. It was so good. So yeah, honestly, just look at this as an opportunity to be creative, you know, since you have to change what you're eating, you might as well have fun with it. All right, well, Jeff and I are gonna go eat, and I will see you guys back here for dessert. Oh, all right, guys. It is currently midnight, and it has been a long day of cooking, but I promised you dessert, so we're gonna do that now, okay? Okay, so I mentioned before that I'm not really a dessert person, but if I wanted a little something sweet, I would typically go for dark chocolate. I also have a mug cake recipe, a chocolate lava mug cake that I whip up sometimes. I do have a recipe for it. I'll link it below for you guys if you haven't seen it. But the thing what we're gonna make today is we're gonna do a little bit of berries and cream. So like I mentioned, I'm very fructose intolerant. So I typically stick with berries. Strawberries are FODMAP free. Raspberries, I think the low FODMAP serving is like 30 raspberries. So that's like basically FODMAP free. I can tolerate some blackberries, but I can't have as much. I have noticed that. But today we're gonna be doing strawberries. So let me show you guys how to whip up a homemade whipped cream like so quick. Like honestly, it takes like 5 minutes. And like if you do it yourself, like it doesn't have like any weird preservatives, no weird chemicals. It's not going to negatively affect your gut. So yeah. And like you'll see, it really doesn't even like have that much sugar in it. It's pretty awesome. When I figured that out, I was like, oh my God, it's amazing. All right, so let's get to it. Okay, so the ratio for whipped cream is 1 cup of cream to 2 tablespoons of salt, but sugar, excuse me. But I'm definitely not gonna make that much whipped cream. I'm just gonna do 1/4 cup here. And so that's gonna require 1/2 tablespoon. You want to make sure you're using cold cream. You are going to need an electric mixer for this though. I mean, I guess you could hand mix it, but you don't want to do that. That seems like a lot. Boom, done. Look at that. That was what? 2 minutes? 2 ingredients? This is like one of those things that once you figure out how easy it is to make, you're gonna have to really use some restraint to not make this all the time. It's really good. All right, here we've got our strawberries. I would probably only eat like half of this whipped cream, honestly. But it's okay. You can eat it all. It's not gonna give you like issues. If you've never had fresh homemade whipped cream, you have not lived. I mean that. All right, guys, we did it. That was my low FODMAP, what I eat in a day. Even though it's not really what I eat in a day, I don't eat that much. But I really wanted this video to be helpful for you guys, you know, to show like examples of what you could have for a breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack, dessert, right? So that's why I did it this way. I hope you guys like this video. I apologize if the footage sucks. This is my first attempt at like trying to vlog and like setting up the camera and like doing all that. That's not my department. That's my husband that does it with his like very fancy video equipment normally. So I really hope it's like okay. I hope it's okay to watch. And I'm gonna try and do more. I mean, if it is okay, hopefully I'm gonna do more videos that are like more like casual, kind of like showing what I cook more often, not like my full polished like recipe videos. Hopefully I can get like better at this. I don't know. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you would like more videos for like low FODMAP recipe tutorials, like information on gut health, things like that. Check out my website, GreatandGroceries.com, where I will have all like a lot of my recipes listed for you. And share this video to somebody who is always complaining of digestive issues. Show them like, hey, you can totally do this. Like, this is what you can eat. This is what you should be eating. Stop complaining if you're not eating like this. No, I'm just kidding. Also, if you really find my content valuable and really value what I do, I would really appreciate it if you go over to Patreon and become a patron. And that way you can support my channel monthly. That would be super nice. And thank you guys so much to the patrons that I already have. You guys really help keeping me going. So thank you. I appreciate it. All right, guys, I will see you next time.